I was chatting with a speaker client of mine recently, and the topic of culling photos came up. She was interested in learning about how I make the determination as to whether the photo stays or the photo gets thrown out with respect to finding the nuggets within a pile of images. And I told her that it's a process that I'm used to doing. I've looked at, hundreds of thousands of photos at this point, but I promised her that I would give her a little bit of a behind the scenes look into how I do that. And recently I took a couple of photos during a virtual session, and I have about 100 or so sitting here, and I'm going to go through them with you. I haven't looked at them since I've photographed them, so I don't even know what I have. Hopefully, there are some pretty good ones in there. I don't know. But what I'm going to do is just kind of show you how I go back and forth and figure out which ones of the pile that I ultimately keep. So let me share my screen with you. Now, normally this is not the way that I look at the images. I look at them more in this manner here. So I'll basically look at this pile as a gigantic group. And what I do is I'll start one at a time. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to go one at a time. And let's see what we got. So right off the bat, this one I would debate on keeping because the smile is magical, but the neck's a little funky. Now, as you can see, she still has a great smile, and this is now cleaned up because she turtled and brought her forehead closer to the camera. So I would keep this photo. That's a definite no. That's a little crazy looking. She's in mid conversation, so that's a no. Almost, but not quite. The mouth looks a little weird. The hand positioning is great, especially within the context of this frame, but the mouth is not there. Her eyes are closed, so that's a no. Her eyes are closed, so that's a no. That's a maybe, because that expression is a little odd. But if you were to keep that photo and have a social post that could be somewhere along the lines of a with a sentiment of maybe annoyance or what are you doing with your life? Why are you doing that? Stop doing that. That kind of tone could work with that expression, but that's an on the fence shot. Her eyes are weird. That looks no good. That's pretty good. It's more declarative, looking into the camera, passionate, hands are moving. Eyes are closed, no good. Eyes are closed. Eyes are weird, not closed, but no good. Not bad. It's an on the fence. It's another one of those impassioned kind of expressions that could work for certain types of stories for your social posts. Definite no. I like that. That's also pretty good with the eyebrow raise, and you could see how it's a similar expression here, but with the eyebrow raise, there's more passion in it. So this one I would probably keep over this one. No good, blurry. No good, blurry. Not so great. The mouth is a little weird from that angle. That's a good shot. Interesting composition. All the attention's drawn to her face, and that works. No good. The mouth is a little blurry here. It's a little weird and jarring. That's kind of interesting. I like that. And the neck, the jaw is under control. The eyes are right into camera. That kind of works. That's an expression that could be perceived in a couple different ways. Same thing there with more animation in the mouth than this one. This is not bad, but this one has a cleaner look to it. I would probably select that one over the previous one. No good. Same thing. I like that expression as well. No good. Blurriness. No good. Blurriness. That's a good expression. We'll keep that one. Eyes are closed. Mouth is weird. We got some weird mouth action. She's not making eye contact into the camera. Now, normally And her mouth is weird, but even if her mouth was in a good place, she's looking off camera. So if we were to keep this photo, this image would need to be shifted over to this more over here so that her looking this way, you'd be able to use this space where nothing was to be able to put branding and text and things of that nature. So this shot doesn't quite work as constituted. So that's no good. That's much better. Looking into the camera, the mouth is doing better things. The jaw looks good. The angle's interesting on the shot itself. I wouldn't keep this. The mouth's a little bit too distracting. This isn't on the fence. I would probably say no because the mouth feels a little uncomfortable in this one. Same here. It's not quite there. She looks like she's about to sneeze. That means no. I wouldn't keep that either. That's much better. Mouth is more pronounced and the eyes are focused and that works. She looks like she's about to spit on someone, so we definitely don't want that. Much better, much more under control. Really nice expression that could be that can visually punctuate the sentiment of a variety of stories. Mouth's, I don't know, mouth looks a little weird. I'm not into it. Maybe, I don't know. Eyes are closed, definitely not. Eyes are closed. It's decent. There's something there. Eyes are closed, no good. Throw that out. Mouth is weird. Hands a little crazy there. We're going to throw that out. Now that's on point. See the difference between this, where it's leading to this? That's why I shoot hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of photos, because when you're shooting someone that's moving while talking, now in a room, it's a lot easier to freeze the motion, but when you're shooting a laptop screen, there's a lot of lag between them delivering and on the screen. It's just the way that I equate it is it's mushy. The image is a little mushier than in person, but when you nail the focus, it looks really awesome like this. And her hand position is really great. And she's looking into camera, but you see all this negative space, like I talked about before. This is ripe for text and branding and logos and whatever she's promoting for her business right there. Eyes are closed, that's thrown in the garbage. Her hands look like apparitions. We don't want that. Her mouth is not quite there. Her eyes, her hands are in the game, but her mouth isn't. She's looking weird with the eyes here. It looks like she's blinking, so that's no good. I would keep that. It's a potential. It's a potential to be used. Nope, her mouth is weird. Hopefully the next shot will be right on point. And it is. We lucked out. No, I didn't look at these beforehand. I just lucked out, but that's a great expression. And now, as you can see, I flipped the laptop. So now she's looking this way and now she has this space. And that's kind of a hallmark of anything that I shoot, virtual or in person portrait stuff. It's always about trying to get as much variety as we can. It's the same location. She's wearing the same outfit. It's on the same laptop. But at the end of the day, she's now on the right side of the screen as opposed to the left side of the screen, and we want high angle, low angle. As you've noticed, there have been a variety of angles, and that's definitely something that I take into account as I'm shooting. And then the hope is that I have enough from every single angle so that the variety will reveal itself in the actual delivered images, not just the raw files, because these photos at the end of the day are going to do nothing in my inbox, but they're going to do something for hers. So it's important to make sure you really capture that variety. Next shot. Nope. Nope. Mouth is weird there. We're not going to keep that. Mouth is weird there. We're not going to keep that. Mouth is weird there. We're not going to keep that. And her eyes are closed. And there, that's another interesting expression with a slight smile that could be used in a variety of ways. So as you've noticed, within this little section, most of them are getting thrown out, but for the ones that work, they work well, and there's a couple of them. So it gives me the opportunity to deliver one version in black and white, one version in color, maybe another one where I crop it a little different and make the shot a little tighter, just to add, again, add to that visual variety. I don't like that front. That mouth's weird. Mouth is weird. That's a good expression. We'll keep that one too. She looks drunk. That's not going to work. Maybe, maybe. I don't mind it. It's an on the fence at best. Interesting. I would keep that. And now we're in a new angle, as you can see. Nope, that one looks like she needs a hug. We don't want that. Not bad. I'd keep it. Now, prior shots with the lips that look like this, they didn't work for me, but in this instance it works. Why? Because I'm shooting the screen at a different angle, and the prominence of the lips with that pursed kind of look to it looks better from this high angle. So as a result, I would keep this one. We're not keeping that one though. Uh, Shaky face. I don't like that. Too much blur. Again, one of the unfortunate drawbacks to shooting a screen is there's a lot of blur. There's a lot of blur, and it's hard to freeze sometimes. And the reason why it's hard to freeze, by the way, the reason why it's hard to freeze is because, there's multiple channels here. When I'm shooting someone in person, it's just me and the person in the room, and there's no pass through. The pass through here is her camera on her computer through the internet signal, through the Wi-Fi that I'm shooting through, and then being interpreted on my laptop. So there's a lot of places for compression to occur and for artifacts to happen and delays to happen. And that's why there's a lot of blurry shots, a lot of blurry hands, a lot of blurry movement in these photos. But again, that's why I shoot 9 million of these things per session. This is not going to work. Her eyes are weird. That works. Very impassioned. Hands are doing its thing, imploring people to do something to move themselves forward. I like it. That works. Now, don't worry about that exposure. I would be able to fix that. So that to me is not the issue. Here, the issue is the expression. I think the eyes are a little too eager with that mouth combination. As you can see, a good photo from a bad photo is a game of a couple of inches here or there with muscle movement in the face. It's really all it is. It's subtle, but it's impactful when you get it right. And in this one, it's a little bit off. Mouth's weird there. Looks like she's whistling Dixie walking down the block. I would keep this. I would just adjust the lighting on the face to bring it down so she doesn't have the ghost-like quality, and that's all possible. I can totally do that. But the face works. Chin's a little too high. Not quite there. The expression is decent, but the chin action's a little bit, you don't lean with your chin like that. It's weird. Too much blur, mouth is weird. I like that. There's a little smirky smirk. The mouth is not as proper as I'd like it to be, but it's good enough in the sense of the grand scheme of what that expression is and how it could tie into a story that would relate to uh, whatever she's talking about in her business or the lesson she's imparting to her audience. That could work. Again, I just have to work on the coloring and the brightness of the image. That's not going to work. That is a little weird. That's definitely not going to work. And the mouth's a little weird. No. Yeah, I like that. The close-up works. And we get in there to see the real thing, and that's a usable expression. That's a great, confident, happy, hey, work with me. You can trust me by paying me to help you with your problems. That one works. That does not work. That works too. That one, between that one and the one before that worked, there's more smirk in this one, so this could be even more playful with respect to the type of story that it could visually punctuate when she uses this in her content. Maybe it's smirky, smirky. The mouth's a little odd. I don't know if I would keep that. I'm on the fence. That's a definite no. There's a lot of crazy town going on in that one. Eyes are weird. Eyes are weird. Better. I like that. That definitely works. Nope. Her mouth looks like it's going one way and her nose is going the other. We don't want that. That works. That definitely works. More of a conversational image and definitely everything's under control and it looks good. Nope. Yes. Interesting expression. Cheekbones look fantastic from this angle. Eyes are working great. Jaw looks good. She's in the game. And then for the 9,000th time, her eyes are closed. That looks great too. Confident one. Interesting, sophisticated expression that could be interpreted in a couple of different ways, which means there's flexibility with how it could be leveraged in social or on a blog or wherever, other promotional images. That works too. Chins up and it still works. Everything there is working. A very declarative type of expression that again has some creative flexibility. Eh, the way that the light's reflecting on it, it just looks weird. No, confused, mouth's weird. We don't want that. And that's the last one. So, as you can see, it's an interesting little process that I go through, but out of 102 photos, I believe I selected about 23 or so. And that's pretty much the ratio when it comes to these virtual presentations. When it comes to in-person stuff, the ratio is a lot more favorable. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many you shoot. It matters what you get out of it and the value that you find in those images. So I hope that this video has given you a little bit of insight into how I cull photos. If you have any questions related to how you can look at your own image content and cull them yourself, please feel free to reach out to me and set up a call and we can talk about it.